Good day, everyone. District 10 is headed by Dr. Lydia T. Belunta. It comprises of three elementary schools. Francisco Holmes Elementary School, headed by Ma'am Miriam A. Zamora. Gio Elementary School, headed by Ma'am Marites P. Borja. And Kaipian Elementary School, headed by Ma'am Evangeline Galvez. Three secondary schools. Kaipian National High School, headed by Dr. G's D.C. Campano. Mulawi National High School, headed by Ma'am Chona C. Dulay, and San Jose del Monte National High School, headed by Engineer Danilo Casas. In relation with DepEd's initiative for schools readiness in distance learning with the tagline Handang Isip, Handa Bukas, all schools under District 10 have conducted regular disinfection of school facilities, reproduction of modules in different subject areas from kindergarten to grade 12, and continuous implementation of Gulayan Sipalan. Aside from that, Learning Continuity Plan was successfully launched with parents, barangay officials, GPTA officers, and other stakeholders. Each school also helped in the reproduction of modules to be used for the opening of classes, where 14,620 modules were reproduced in totality. During the pre-implementation, the learners, learning area, and modality of each school were identified. Mulawi National High School used both online and modular LDM for ESP10, participated by 15 students each class. This is also the featured school, and all other details will be presented in the latter part. Francisco Holmes Elementary School utilized modular and online learning delivery modalities for AP and English 6. Composed by 34 students each class. On the other hand, Giho Elementary School used modular LDM for Filipino 3, participated by 25 students. Kaipian Elementary School also utilized modular LDM for Filipino 5 with 35 learners. Kaipian National High School made use of 14 online classes and 2 modular classes in different subject areas like English, Filipino, Math, Science, MAPE, TLE, etc. Lastly, San Jose del Monte National High School utilized online, synchronous modular LDM for Science 8 with 24 learners. After that, meetings with school heads and supervisors were conducted. Then, the modules were printed, sorted out, and distributed to schools, while teachers on the online class already started to prepare their virtual classroom along with the necessary activities. Each school scheduled parents and students orientation regarding the processes of the different learning modalities in each grade level, from kindergarten to grade 12. This was considered as successfully done as the willingness and participation of the parents was shown. After the orientation, the modules were distributed through the help of different external stakeholders. In Francisco Holmes Elementary School and Kaipian Elementary School, the modules were picked up by parents according to their scheduled time. The unpicked up modules were then delivered by volunteer teachers. On the other hand, Kaipian National High School was assisted by OWA officers, SK volunteers, and riders during the module distribution. During the implementation proper for modular LDM, the students accomplished the first modules, while in online LDM, the students participated in both synchronous and asynchronous classes. Along with this is a thorough guidance and supervision of parents and teachers. Afterwards, the first modules were retrieved and disinfected. This is followed by checking of the modules and online outputs of students. Subsequently, the schools conducted distribution and orientation of parents for the second module. After the 2-week simulation, these were the results of debriefing to parents and students of the 6 schools in District 10. Post-conference was done among school heads and teachers through the guidance of the Public Schools District Supervisor, Dr. Lydia T. Belunta, and Sir Senen Jane als EPS1. The strengths and challenges were discussed, along with the interventions and best practices of each school, like the assistance given by external stakeholders in module distribution in Kaipian National High School was comprehensive, followed by other schools like Mulawi National High School, San Jose del Monte National High School, Giho Elementary School, Francisco Holmes Elementary School, and Kaipian Elementary School. Some of the strengths under modular LDM were Parents and students are participative and cooperative. Module is self-paced. Parents and guidance can save a lot of transportation. The only expense is in the printing of modules which are shouldered by schools. The content of the modules are easier to grasp than those in the books. Students have their own way of learning that would work for them. On the other hand, the challenges that were encountered include: there are parents who did not go to school to get or return the modules on time. There are unclear instructions on the process of the modular learning, lack of social interaction. Some prints of the module are not readable. To address this, interventions were given such as get help from the barangay, GPTA, and other stakeholders in distribution and collection of the modules, explain the instructions thoroughly to the parents, especially the use of home guide and how they will use it, provide volunteer, facilitator, regular monitoring on the performance of the pupils through text and call. Conversely, the strengths of online LDM were: students are able to interact with their teacher and classmates. The students may be given different variation of activities. Teachers can easily assess the learning status of their students. While the challenges that they have experienced include: some learners were not able to attend the class on time due to meeting link error. Unstable internet connection caused lagging, which results to interruption during classes. Some learners did not participate in the discussion and left the meeting when questions about the lesson were raised. The attention of the learners get easily distracted by the unpleasant noise in their surroundings. And to address this, such interventions were done like extended time for the students to comply during the online class, sent the meeting link early so that the learners who will have trouble in joining the meeting send notification, remind learners to find a spot where a stable internet connection is certain, made presentations clear, concise, and visually entertaining so as not to cause boredom among learners. Pupils were reminded to find a place in their homes that is comfortable and conducive to learning.
Good morning, my fellow educators. Mulawi National High School, dakilang paaralan tungo sa magandang kinabukasan. That is the battle cry of the school, which was a newly established school and just operated last July 2019. They started having only 166 students catered by 9 teachers and the school head, with the leadership and mentoring of school head Mrs. Chona C. Dulay. That 166 students were now almost 800 enrollees for the academic year 2020-2021. Mulawin, despite having minimal manpower, was able to conduct and participate in different activities at the division. Dedicated teachers, with the initiative of their school head, empowered themselves as they embraced the new normal in education. They all believe that it is true and the only true education, that every parent will be able to secure a better future for their children. Even before the simulation class was scheduled, Mrs. Chona Sidulay already instructed her teachers to familiarize themselves with different learning platforms that will be beneficial to their learners. She held different meetings via Google Meet and started planning with her team. Despite the pandemic, Mulawi National High School did not stop aspiring to provide quality service and education to its learners. Added to this was the consistent disinfecting of the school to ensure the safety not just of students but of teachers as well. With the joint effort and collaborative works of teachers and their school head, their learning continuity plan was presented to the 4 different barangays, namely Barangay Mulawin, Giho, Nara, and Yakal, last July 24, 2020. Chona C. Dulay with her team enumerated their different plans in pursuing the call of Sulong Edukalidad by the Department of Education. Hand in hand, the leaders of 4 different barangays pledged their commitments in helping the school achieve its purpose for the benefit of the learners. Last July 30 to 31, the learning continuity plan of the school was also presented to the parents, providing them an avenue where they could ask all their
doubts in mind in terms of pursuing their children's education. Mulawi National High School conducted a briefing for parents and learners as they identify who would be joining the simulation, after which another briefing had been conducted to those who were selected to the participants of the simulation class. Learners were oriented on the process of which simulation would be conducted. They were also briefed about the schedule and target activities to be performed. Parents as well were briefed on how the simulation would work and was asked to guide their children throughout the process. There had been 15 grade 10 students selected to participate in the said simulation. The assigned teacher for the online class prepared materials needed in conducting her simulation class. She got herself familiarized with the activities listed on the module and transferred such activities in Google Classroom, where students can answer and participate. She also consistently checked the attendance at the Google Classroom during their meetings. She set a schedule for the synchronous and asynchronous sessions and explained thoroughly how it would work. During the implementation process, a pre-test was administered to assess how much does her learners know about the topic. The simulation class was conducted in 2 hours, twice a week in synchronous and asynchronous sessions. The assigned teacher also allotted a schedule where students who are in groups can ask their inquiries on their teacher. As scheduled has been done to secure that every learner was met. Students were closely guided by their teachers even in conducting their asynchronous sessions, ensuring that students can follow the activities posted in Google Classroom. At the end of every module, a post-test was given assessing if learning had taken place. Everything was overseen and facilitated by PSTS Lydia T. Velunta, who provided her technical assistance and monitored the development of the program. She also conducted a post-conference with the assigned teacher together with school head Shona C. Dulay, where they discussed the strengths, challenges, and interventions of the conducted simulation. Then, they gathered feedbacks from the parents and learners to see their insights on the conducted simulation class. According to the assigned teacher, her struggles during the simulation was the stability of her internet connection. There were instances where her students would say, "Ma'am, choppy po kayo. Ma'am, napuputol po." Another struggle was when her laptop lagged during the teaching process and she had to open her desktop to continue with the meeting. Her intervention on those struggles was to always be prepared by loading your cell phone aside from your internet provider. She also provided a backup like desktop aside from her laptop to save her in moments where her laptop would lag. During the gathering of feedbacks, the students said that they learned a lot about the simulation process and that they missed their teaching sessions with the teacher. The struggles were those who use cell phones where they cannot easily follow because of the features which cannot be seen on their gadgets. Intervention made by the teacher on that was to allow them share, present their screen, and instruct them what they had to do. Parents say that they enjoyed listening to the online class. They were also able to see, monitor, what their kids do compared to the traditional classes, where they were not able to attend on their kids' classes. They also commit to guiding their kids in the actual classes. Mulawi National High School, teachers believe in handang isip, handa bukas, sulong, edukalidad.
Ikaw, ano lang encounter mong problem?
Time management, sir.
Bakit time management?
Kasi sir, minsan lalo na kapag ang gadget na gamit mo is phone, mahirap po yung mag-out ka sa Google Meet, tapos pupunta ka sa ibang apps na kung ano pinapagawa ng teacher, lalo na po pag sa Chrome. Tapos mamaya-maya, yung iba nakasagot na ikaw, naglo-loading pa rin po.
Oh, yun.
So, kapag tapos na po yung iba, ikaw mag-uumpisa ka pa lang. So, malilate ka po talaga lalo. Then, isa pa sir yung sa gadget po talaga. Kaya ako sir ang ginagamit ko dalawang phone eh. Yung isa pang video, tapos yung isa kapag may pinapagawang kung ano-ano si teacher. Tapos signal po. Most common yung signal.
As parent, ano po yung kadalasan nagiging problem
Hello po, good evening.
Good evening po.
Ano po kasi, cellphone lang po kasi ang gamit niya. Yung laptop po kasi pareho kami kasi teacher din po ako dito sa PES. Kaya minsan, opo, nagsasabay kami ng gamit. Doon sa nag-aagawan ng signal. Minsan hindi po stable yung signal. Kaya may time na nade-disconnect. O kaya palipat-lipat po siya ng pwesto para makahanap ng mas malakas na signal.
During the gathering of feedbacks, the students said that they learned a lot about the simulation process and that they missed their teaching sessions with the teacher. The struggles were those who use cell phones where they cannot easily follow because of the features which cannot be seen on their gadgets. Intervention made by the teacher on that was to allow them share, present their screen, and instruct them what they had to do.
What are your best practices during your online distance class modality?
Ma'am, in terms of teaching strategies po, I use certain applications katulad po ng slido.com para po magkaroon ako ng interactive na class discussions. Kasi lagi po sinasabi sa amin ni Ma'am Nogoy, as much as possible talagang dapat dinideliver yung ESP ng interactively. Then after ma'am nung last na usap po natin, na nagbigay po kayo sa amin ng technical assistance, so in-explore ko ma'am yung aking G-Classroom and nakita ko po doon na merong mga rooms na pwede nating gamitin ma'am, wherein ang inputs ng bata ay automatic ma'am na nakikita ng teacher at ng parent. So maging yung assessment ma'am, yung pre-test and post-test po, naging napakadali para sa akin kasi automatic ma'am nakikita ko na yung scores, nakikita ko na kung saan sila nahirapan, saan naging madali. And yung parent din, ma'am, nakikita nila kagad kung saan dapat alalayan yung bata.
If Mulawi National High School have best practices on online class simulation, let us now view the strengths of online class modality through this video presentation.
Ma'am, what are the strengths of your online distance class modality?
Ma'am, ang strengths po ng online distance modality para sa akin, ma'am, number 1, safe. Kasi safe yan sa bata, safe din sa teacher kasi wala pong physical interaction. But most importantly, ma'am, yung guidance ng parent real time. So, naririnig ng parent kung ano yung tinuturo ng teacher. Nakikita niya kung ano yung activity na ginagawa ng bata. So, nagiging mas madali para mag-guide po kagad yung bata in cases na medyo nagkakaroon siya ng struggle. So, napakaganda dahil yung bata po natututo at the same time, nandoon yung kanyang magulang na baback-upan po siya all the while ng pag-aaral nila.
During this new normal in rapid online distance learning modality, have some problems that might be encountered to give us a better perspective of the examples of these challenges during online distance class modality. Let us now again watch this video presentation of Mulawi National High School during its implementation of simulation of online classes.
Ma'am Chona, what are your future plans in your school, Mulawi National High School, to address those challenges that you have seen in your own online class distance modality?
Okay. Thank you po sa inyong tanong, Ma'am Lydia Belunta. Salamat sa inyong mga technical assistance. No? Habang kami nagkakaroon ng simulation, ay napagtanto namin o nagkaroon kami ng analyzation sa mga posibleng kaharapin na problema o challenges ng Mulawi National High School once na nagsimula na yung pag-uumpisa ng ating klase sa October 5. Una nga rito, yung katulad ng binabanggit ni Ma'am Rhea kanina tungkol sa problema sa signal, no? Ang isa sa solusyon natin o intervention para dito ay i-request na mag-upgrade ng internet yung ating mga parents, no? Pero kung sakasakaling wala silang kakayanang mag-upgrade, pwede rin po tayong lumapit sa ating barangay. Actually, binanggit na ito sa amin ni Kapitan nung kami ay nakipag-meeting sa kanila. Nagkaroon kami ng LCP presentation sa ating mga stakeholders at kabilang nga sa pinledge ni Kapitan bilang suporta sa atin sa eskwelahan natin ay ang pagkakaroon ng free wifi para sa Barangay Mulawin. No? So para sa mga walang kakayanan mag-upgrade ng kanilang internet, pwede silang doon makigamit. No? Sa atin naman sa eskwelahan, nag-apply po tayo ng dalawang internet service provider. Kabilang dito yung PLDT and Converge. Bakit po dalawa? Para po sakaling mag-shutdown yung isa, may isa pa po tayong pwedeng gamitin. Ibig sabihin, tuloy pa rin ang klase. Sakali mang may isang internet provider na mag-lag o mag-shutdown. Ganon. Pangalawa po, yung tungkol sa gadget, ayun, dapat may dalawa na standby na ginagamit yung bata at teacher. No? Kung walang kakayanan, tingnan natin kung may maipapahiram ang ating, pwede tayong lumapit kasi sa ating mga government officials para mabigyan tayo nito. Tapos yung sa cellphone, no? Isa dito yung sa cellphone kasi, saka sa laptop, magkaiba sila ng icon na nakikita sa monitor. No? So nagkaroon ng challenges ang ating teacher sa kung paano makikita ng bata yung kanyang itinuturo doon sa hawak na cellphone ng bata. So ang ginawa dito ng teacher ni Ma'am Rhea ay nag-screen share siya. Doon sa pag-screen share niya, step by step niyang itinuro, no? So hindi ito ngayon lang mangyayari. So posibleng iba pang mga estudyante maka-experience ng ganitong sitwasyon na lalo't ang gamit nga nila ay cellphone, no? Yung pang-apat nga, yung sa brownout, talagang may panahon na hindi natin maiwasan, mawawala ng kuryente. So, isang solusyon natin dito ay pagka nagkaroon sa kalagitnaan ng klase ng brownout, ay iti-text na lang ng teacher yung mga bata para bigyan ng offline activity. Ganun po, no? Sa kabuuhan, napakaganda ng magiging sistema o paraan ng ating online distance learning. No? Nakikita ko na magiging kapaki-pakinabang ito sa atin, lalo na sa pagharap natin sa new normal.
Before this presentation ends, I would like to leave this saying from Alexander Graham Bell: preparation is the key to success. Handang isip, handang bukas. Sulong Edukalidad.